players that can pop off in a lot of situations, but they can't really get their gears rolling. And they tend to struggle in early game.
Yeah, but early, since you don't obviously farm out unless you find a llama, and so many spots, and it's very unpredictable, right? And the comp player's worst nightmare is kind of being in a fight in an unpredictable scenario. You have to kind of react to what's on your screen. If you have more than one person focusing you down, that's even worse for you, right? You're always back against the wall. You want to have everything available for you. You want to have some room. So 100% I agree. Early game is something that's very hard to perfect. And very hard to kind of prep for when you're playing in the game. It usually just gets thrown onto you.
And these guys are using all this retail row, kind of extra loot to really capitalize and find the perfect loadout. So Yonks is going to get a big upgrade right there, going from a great tactical shotgun up to a legendary shotgun, legendary tactical. We've seen multiple players, even that, you know, rare European game one we got to catch. And I'll call it rare because you guys know the issues that kind of unfolded today. We saw players, pro players taking the gold tack over the blue pump, even when it needed most. Players needed it the most, right? You needed that one pump. People were still opting to rock out with the gold tack.
Yeah, the meta for a lot of players and the way they play and take peaks, they use the combat for so much time of the season. They're used to having more bullets to send through. They're used to having, you know,
the fire rate.
Yeah, the fire rate as well, right? It's just the biggest thing they're not used to and they have to kind of adjust to is the pull-out time of that gold and purple tack, because it is slower than all the other shotguns available right now in the loot pool.
Here's Zanzis. So they're going to use hoverboards to get away from the trio that's to the left, or maybe they didn't even realize they're actually firing off in the distance there. So little do they know, someone is already up close and personal, but there it is. The sound cue is given off, and he's actually spotted by Zephyr, who's got the perfect pinch on his player, and Zanzis, who's got the nice range as well with the explodes here. Shield Bubble is going to isolate this player from Zephyr, and Zephyr loses the 1v1.
Shield Bubble absolutely isolates. The big thing about this side of the map, too, is how spread out and isolated you are from the get-go. So much of the split is going on just for looting purposes that when a fight starts, you have to act quick to get back to your team. Fast builds from Zanzis, though. Shockwaves coming through. Still a block off. The tack shots not missing a single one out of 8 in his clip. Zanzis is on point right now. Metal's not going to stop his beam from coming through into your box. A two-way split on pressure on the box as well. I hear a minigun in there too, Monster. This is insane.
It's going down right now. He's not missing any shots. Happy that you noted that, because there's knock players everywhere. Wisa goes down. Normally when it's me and I got a tack shotgun, I have a million excuses to figure out why I'm not, you know, landing or damaging, but it doesn't matter. Zanz is showing that you can hit your shots, you're gonna win your fights. And that's exactly how this battle has turned around, because Zephyr was the first to get traded out. So as a 2v3 situation, they're doing so good. Invoke's going to fall down now as well, which means that last player is very weak, because Zanzis already got 2 knocks here. So let's see how he goes to execute and kind of seal the deal here. So he walks right around, and there he goes. He catches Invoke.
Absolutely no hesitation at all to use any type of utility. Not a certain pattern we usually see. People are more safe and scarce with what they want to use in a fight, especially this early. Mid-game, I understand, throw your 6 stinks. But this, Sans has just used, I think, upwards of his entire rocket clip with what the GL came with as well. And the minigun ammo, no care for it at all. I think we just dropped down from like 600 to 200.
Hey,
Still reaping the benefits.
You know what they say? If you can't take it with you back to the lobby, so you might as well throw it out there, because the worst thing is to, you know, to get taken out of a game and be like, man, you know, I still had those splashes. I knew I should have padded right there, right? Or, you know, kind of have those regrets. So, you know, good on them to kind of throw it all at the wall when it mattered, because their teammate got taken out first. Zephyr lost. So you might as well throw everything to really take the tide and take a, you know, take the bull by the horns in that situation, I should say. But taking a look at the other side of the map, we have Eska, Toggle, Seagull on the run here from a team behind them. They put some pressure on squads kind of floating around, launch padding above.
And when the zone gets pulled down from this angle, from the on the entire map, this bone spot, the whole Sakura flower field, is a very interesting place where a lot of trios actually converge. A lot of the POIs on that side of the map usually don't waste too much time actually getting bricked from, but if you have that mentality because you just want to go and farm the teeth, every other trio has that mentality as well. There's so much brick available, as you can see, on the lake, on the actual rock behind you guys, the whole skull. But the big issue is if every trio is thinking that way, this is what ends up happening. A huge fight that blows out, stinks being thrown, a lot of utility being used, including defensive utility like campfires and bubble shields, will have a lot of engagements that you probably don't want to take just because you're on the same page as some other trios in the early game.
And those are some amazing stinks right there to really put the pressure on these players down here. But there's someone in Tilted Town who's actually firing back. There's another squad on the mountain just to the side of that as well. So suddenly what looked like a free push and a free takeout on the squad here in the river has now turned into a really odd situation because they're surrounded by multiple players. RSG Spirit tries to skate away there on the hoverboard. He's going to get picked off immediately by this trio right now. They say, you know what? We caught a freebie over here. Let's go back. Let's get that loot and forget these guys on the river. They'll live to see another day for now.
Yeah, big cost to their resources, though. A lot of, I think, would ultimately just expend it to push that fight. Easily farmable up once again, but we did see so many trios rotating through here. Will there actually be much left at the moment, or will they have to get it on the fly moving forward as well? These guys seem to not stop. It just toggles on 24/7. Fights are on all the time. Not sure why there's just it's a two-box kind of defensive base right now, but the less boxes you have, the more opportunity for a big pop-off moment. Spirit getting released all the way to that knockdown state. It's a box wall-to-wall fight right now. It's going to be that 50-50 engagement. Big Elim coming out of Toggle.
You gotta show some respect for Toggle's shots right there, flicking at the light and the slightest pixel that moved in front of him. He did not miss a shot, hitting 3 flush pump shots right there, and a flawless edit as well on the player that was just picked up. So Spirit got knocked, he got saved, he got put right back down in the dirt, and then Toggle follows up with the other. Now hopping on over to Shifty Shafts. Looks like we have, so we saw Sid dig, we saw MSI dig, and Rampage have a great last game. They're just outside of the Shifty here, and there's another trio nearby.
Amazing. We're going to be looking at Shifty now, one big place to actually get refarmable mats in. The biggest part about this, you talk about the whole skull earlier for brick. A lot of teams do rotate the Shifty for that metal, as once again, on this kind of middle side of the map, especially coming out of Tilted Town, yes, you have an increased plethora of mats available from chests, but to knock off and top off all your metal, you do have to rotate and find a lot with other trios as well. So a dope pattern we're seeing in this mid game is a lot of Middle Eastern trios on the same page, moving forward, backwards, and all around the map, knowing the exact power, POI, and farm spots mid-game as well, as we see a care package coming down from the top.
That's right, and ladies and gentlemen, we are here. It's Shio Wager, Monster D-Face. We're looking at the Middle East region. We're taking a look at these heats, these games that are unfolding here. A region that we have not covered much of. This is actually, if anything, their debut to the Fortnite main stage here. So to see these players performing under pressure right now, we're looking at our future stars, future names that, will show up for the next World Cup for all we know, right?
Yeah, the scene can only develop more and more and more. They can only review more and play more, which means they'll only get better, and we'll see even greater and bigger things. One big thing I've been seeing these guys utilize mid-game and very early on as well, I want to ask you a question, Monster. What do you think about the uses of shield bubbles mid and end game? When should they be used? How do you manage just having 2 in an inventory?
Yeah, from what I've seen, the shield bubble is obviously one of the most, effective tools to canceling out fire coming in on you when you become the focus point of a server, but more importantly, the perfect way to isolate a team when you decide, hey, we want to pounce on this target as well, so that no one can kind of interrupt or interfere with your battle as well. So the shield bubble is just such a flexible item, and there is no perfect time to use it because we've seen it used to also just like clog up lanes for fire, right? Or the way these guys have come up with these innovative methods in a vehicle per se. So the shield bubble's been a great addition to the flint knock, because the flint knock is another great addition, right?
Offensively, defensively, at a click of a button, right? The instant actual effect comes there. At the moment now, still more disrespect and momentum. every single fight he's a part of. It's great that these guys have such a good spirit when they're playing the game. They're always on point. It seems like they're just having a lot of fun playing these matches, even though we can't hear the comms.
Yeah, I mean, Rampage is really cranking right here. He got that quick knock, came right back up to high ground, and they're just suddenly resetting for the battle here. But someone's going to get dropped. It's Dig who fell behind on their back foot here, as someone is looking to dive on them.